Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about the microblading experience that I did and to give you guys some insight on what the process is like, what the procedure is like, would I do it again, all of that good stuff. So if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me out as I'm getting my channel going, as well as subscribe and hit that bell in the corner so that you can get notifications to my videos as they come out, and comment below. That also helps too, especially if you have questions, if you like what you see, all of that good stuff. So thank you so much in advance for doing that. And now let's go ahead and jump into my microblading review. What is microblading? So I think one of the first things I want to dispel is let's talk about what it's not. I think a lot of people get this done thinking that it is a permanent solution to your eyebrow problems, eyebrow, or that, and it is not. It is not a permanent tattoo. So it is a semi-permanent tattoo, which means you will have some upkeep. It's not going to be a lot of upkeep, but there is some upkeep involved, and so I think it's important for you to understand that. In saying that, I think the other thing to caution you guys on is really do your research before you go and get this done. There are plenty of people out there doing it now because it's a fad, but I will say that this still is a tattoo on your face, and it would be really important for it to look good. So I think going somewhere that you are really happy with what you've seen from said person who's doing this is going to be a big deal for you. And I think that that's just something that I'm really happy with who I chose, because I did do a lot of research and looked at a ton of before and afters and read a ton of stuff online about what this was, watched a lot of videos actually on what this was, and just kind of learning the process, and that helped me to choose someone to go to that was reputable last Thursday. So you go in, I love the place that I went to, and it's just a really cute boutique that they do all lashes and brows. It's totally a brow and lash bar. And I gotten to go in this really pretty room and lay down on like almost like a massage table. And the girl that did my brows, she measured everything so that the goal here is to get these as symmetrical as possible. Your eyebrows will always be sisters and not twins, so keep that in mind. Symmetry is a great thing, but they're never going to look 100% symmetrical. It's just nobody's face is. And in fact, she even told me when she was doing the measurements that you almost also too, after you do the measurements, you can sometimes almost throw those out because it is going to be a visual thing. Some people's faces, when you start to do measurements, they're actually really off. So, which is fine. I think, you know, again, if it was 3 inches difference, but it looks symmetrical when you look at me, I really don't care about the measurements. Plus I hate math anyways. So she measured me and she drew them on, and what they do is they like draw outlines around, and then they basically fill in throughout the outlines. What's really wild is you see that picture, and it's like permanent marker on your face, and your eyebrows look huge, and that's all you see, and it's really kind of funny. For me, I did not have a lot of hair growth in the center of my face. I grew up in the 90s, and we just freaking waxed our eyebrows pretty much off. I know girls that actually took theirs off and then would draw them back on with like a pencil. Mine weren't quite that thin, but I didn't have as much to work with on the front, and my tails were close to long enough to where they needed to be, so we really just kind of kept those pretty similar, but I just didn't have a lot on the front, and in fact, my right eyebrow was far worse than the left. I had more to work with, and guys, I've been trying to grow these babies for a long time. I do my own waxing, and I do my own plucking of the stray hairs to keep up with my face. I've learned how to do that, so I do. But I have just not been able to grow anything on this interior part of my face for a long time. So in saying that, that was where a lot of the work had to go. So once they start the process, I will say it's not really painful. I think the worst part of it is actually the sound that you hear. There were a couple of spots that you're like, ouch, but it's not, I mean, I have no pain tolerance, and so to say that it was just like an ouch motion, or an ouch emotion, it really was. It wasn't super bad at all. There's just a couple spots where you just feel it, and it really does feel like, people have described it as like a scratch. It does feel like a scratch, and they're not going super deep into your skin. They're not going as deep as what a permanent tattoo is. So again, you're also not getting that depth where you do feel a lot more pain. So there is that. After mine were done, my shape looked a little bit off. And the reason why that it did is because I did not have a lot of hair in the front of my brows. Honestly, I struggled with that for the first couple of weeks, because you can't do anything for the first 3 to 4 days, first of all, you can't exercise. So I was even off from training in general for 3 to 4 days. I was not allowed to sweat. You can't wash your face, as far as like you cannot get the brows wet. So washing your face is kind of difficult. And you had to apply Aquaphor. If any of you guys have gotten tattoos before, I'm sure that you've used Aquaphor. So I had to use Aquaphor on them and pretty much apply it with a Q-tip. You don't want to touch them. The hard thing about this too is at night when you sleep, they really want you to sleep on your back so that you don't like move the pigment, because again, it's not ultra deep in your face and it can move. So that was difficult as well. And I was like super careful. I think with all of the care, I probably went above and beyond what was really needed for care, but I really wanted to ensure that I kept the majority of the pigment from the first application. You do lose about 50 to 70% of the pigment from that first application. So that's another thing that's kind of hard, is that if you do like them at first, they are going to fade, the color's going to change, they start to get a little bit dry and itchy, as well as the actual shape changes too because of the flaking off process. If you've had a tattoo, you kind of know how that goes. So washing your face has to be kind of a strategic process. So what I would do is I wore very minimal makeup, and I didn't really even wear a lot of eye makeup that I can remember. Not until I was past that first week did I start putting on more shadow or liner and stuff. I did wear mascara every day because that's easy to get off, but I just kind of try to stay away from them because you're really not supposed to have any makeup on or around them. Again, you're trying to keep any junk out of them that you possibly can. So washing my face had to be strategic. I would put my cleanser on from about here down and scrub my face, and I didn't even put cleanser on, like the cleanser was from here down. It didn't even get into this area right here. And then I would take a makeup wipe and wipe off my face every night around the brows, and I would like wrap it up in my finger and just like pull it, and like stay that high off of it. So the other thing that starts to happen as you're watching your brows change shape and everything is you get really dry and flaky here. And I ended up about, I think 2 weeks in maybe, I was just like, good Lord, my foundation be looking rough up here. I mean, it looks so bad, you guys. It was like textury, and I don't need no extra texture. Like, we just don't need that. So I thought, what can I do? What can I do? And I found it, I have a product that I'm probably going to do a review on later on because it's amazing, but a gel exfoliant that I love, and it like rejuvenated my face. My face looked so amazing after it was done, and I just kind of stayed away from all of that place up there that I wasn't allowed to get anything on, because even after the first 5 days, once you can get them wet, you still cannot use any soap or anything on them. You can also start to use brow powder at day 5 as well, but you can't use pomade. So and now let's fast forward into my touch-up appointment, which was last Thursday. I'm a week out today, and so I'm just at the point where I was able to get them wet on Tuesday. Still cannot wash them with any sort of products or anything like that, but I'm still, washing my face strategically and all of that. They look so amazing, and Erin did so awesome because she knew how scared I was coming in there. Like, am I gonna like this? Did I make the right decision? She spent so much time with me, and we made sure that I had enough strokes. She also did this new technique called micro shading, and it was truly awesome. What it does is creates density for you. So behind the hair strokes there, it just creates a more denser look. It felt like she was like scribbling almost, but it looks so awesome. So I'm gonna get up in the camera and see if you guys can even see all of this right now. I have a little bit of brow powder on, and honestly, if I come any closer, you're really just not gonna be able to see because it just like takes the focus off. But you can see that it looks like actual hair strokes. And I think that's what's so exciting is a lot of people don't even, that know that I got this done, they can't even tell that I've had this done. They're really like, oh my gosh, well, where's the actual tattoo? I don't know what they're expecting to see or whatnot, but it really looks like hair. So that whole touch-up process was a game changer for me. I would definitely do this over again. Just know it is a process, and I think I don't want to scare anybody by any means, but I did want to be honest that it was a process for me, and I had to be okay with that process. So if you are kind of like me and you really got to do a lot of creating with your eyebrows, you're probably going to have a little bit more process to go through than some other people. And I went to the Wink Eye Boutique out in Town and Country, and Clayton is where I went to. They have 2 locations, and I would highly recommend them. I spent a lot of time, you guys, researching, looking at before and afters, learning about this process, and the only thing that I went in there was a false pretense of these were going to be perfect, and you just got to know it's a process. So I absolutely love what I have. I'm so excited that they're done, and with the upkeep, some girls can get 2 to 3 years, or guys can get 2 to 3 years out of this without having to do any updating to them, depending on how well you take care of your skin. So I highly advise you to take care of your skin. I'm gonna try for that, but if it doesn't work, you're looking at a few touch-ups once a year, and that's really no big deal. So in saying that, it took me 2 seconds to add a couple of flicks of powder today, and as they continue to change, I might have to add a little bit more and just kind of keep up with them and try to help, you know, just let them heal. The main thing is I can't do a whole lot with them until we're through that healing process, but I won't lose as much pigment this time. And because the pigment is matched so well to your natural eyebrow color, it fades really beautifully. So that has been my experience. I hope this helps you guys. For those of you who are curious about microblading and trying to learn a little bit about what the process is, and if you are thinking about doing this and you live in the St. Louis area, I highly recommend Wink Eye Boutique. They have a long wait, and the reason they do is because they are absolutely amazing at what they do. I actually was on a wait list and got bumped up. I wasn't even supposed to get this done until mid-October, and who would have known we'd be getting ready to head on to Florida around that time. So I'm super excited that I got it done, and I hope again that this helps you, and I look forward to doing some more videos next week on some other things that are going on in life, as well as other techniques. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. Thank you for the support. So excited about this venture. And comment questions, let me know. I'd love to answer them if there's some things I didn't get to, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you again so much, and everybody have a great rest of your day.